Hey guys, Viewing here, and this is my 1989 Nissan 240SX that I bought all the way back in January and been pretty much daily driving it ever since. So we're coming up on a year now, and I've already poured hella time, hella money onto this car, and this video is just like a quick update, quick overview of what I've done so far before we hit up Japan and, you know, do all that shit. And the order I introduced the parts that I bought is kind of like the timeline of when I bought the parts from oldest to newest. So we'll start with the oldest. So first thing I actually bought for this car was off the homie Sai, and it's this gold carbon fiber center garnish piece, the RPS 13. So yeah, that's like the first thing I threw on this car, and yeah, shout out Sai, man. This shit is so fire. Honestly, you can't beat the gold carbon fiber with the black and the Koki taillights. It's just a vibe. This shit's a iconic center garnish. You recognize this shit anywhere. The second thing I bought for this car, which is not really recommended, because most people are like, oh, you should get suspension before wheels, but I got these Advan SA3Rs, Super Advans, I think. Yeah, you can see in the center cap, you know, Super Advan. These are pretty sick. I always wanted tri-spokes, and these are the, honestly, in my opinion, best looking tri-spokes out of all the tri-spokes that I've seen. Better than the Onis, better than the, there's like a 3-piece Super Advan, I think, but these are 2-piece, but like, I don't know, these just look a lot more like flowier, sicker. I don't know. I just like it better without all the, you know, the 3-piece bolts surrounding the face. But yeah, I got these for $850 up in Victorville area. I don't know if I should include the tire price. The tires altogether were like $400. They're like some cheap Toyo tires, like all seasons. So I just pulled up the specs on my phone right here, and what I got in the front for the wheels is 16x7 plus 35. And the tires I have on are 205/55. Probably recommend doing 205/50 because I do have like a little rub when I go on a bumpy road, like it kind of bottoms out. So I probably recommend 50 instead of a 55 in the front. And that's with my fenders being unrolled, and I still have fender liner. Little flex, I don't know. And then in the rear, I got 16x8 plus 38, 225/50, 16. And honestly, no rub, no nothing. It's pretty good spec back here for a 16. It fills up the tire well pretty well. So yeah, and there's no rubbing. And these quarters are also unrolled. And then, you know, shortly after I bought these wheels in the same month, I caught some suspension. My suspension is pretty blown all over the place because the car's been sitting in a garage for like 10 months. Or I mean 10 years, actually 10 years. So I had to refresh the front suspension. So I got some Tame Flexi coilovers, you know, the budget option. That's pretty reliable. All right, so you see that little speck of green right here. We got that Flex Z with the adjustable camber. Beautiful, beautiful. Single jingle on top. Can I get W's in the chat? The Flex Z's, they were about like $750. So $750. And then I also replaced tension arm, tie rod end, inner tie rod, control arm, tension rod, sway bar end link, and yeah, that's pretty much for the front. And then the rear, I also threw on coils. I got an ISR tension arm that was like $180. Just a regular OEM replacement control arm, $60. GK Tech tie rod end, that was like $40. I got an OEM replacement inner tie rod that was like $60 as well. And then I got an OEM replacement GK Tech sway bar end link. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole front suspension redone. And yeah, I just had to do it because, you know, 35-plus-year-old car stuff, that it's just something you got to do. So after suspension, pretty much started working on the interior. First thing I got this little bride seat, you know, brid. Yeah, this thing needs to get reupholstered, man. Like I've been daily in this brick seat for like 8 months or 6 months. I don't know. This shit is a back killer. I'm not gonna lie. Whatever the hard part is down here at the lower back, this shit just pierces into my back. And then I got this Nardi. Nardi was a gift from my girlfriend. So shout out my girlfriend. Along with the Nardi, I had to buy this was a P2M quick release along with this Workspell short hub. And I got the wrong short hub because you see this gap. This is a short hub for airbag models. So I gotta get the non-Hikis, non-airbag model. Brid seat was like 400 bucks. Nardi, that was like 125 from Up Garage. P2M quick release along with the Workspo hub together was like 280. And then we got this Tomei shift knob. You know, Sai put me on. I think those are like 40, 50 bucks. S14 seat over here. That was like 50 bucks from Up Garage. That was high key steel. And then we changed out the dash. So we got an uncracked dash and it's looking nice and spiffy. Looking nice. There's like a few cracks that are like really small. So, you know, not really considered like a big giant crack. But I like to say it's an uncracked dash. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did with the interior. The dash I actually caught for 200 bucks. And then you see right here, I got this little driving charm. Got it from Tower Records. You know, I got a little important photo right here, you know, just to remind you what's important when I'm going 120 down the highway. I'm just kidding, guys. This car can't go to 120. And then something else that we did, we ran up a S14 VLSD. If you watched my previous video, I don't know if you could get a good look at it, but I might just put like a clip in the video. But we got that S14 VLSD down there. Had to cop that one for 200 bucks as well. And then some GK Tech, GK Tech bushings, and then some new like longer screws because the S13 screws are too short, so I couldn't reuse those. So altogether it was like $265 for everything, which isn't terrible. And then we got our lovely HKS exhaust, the last thing that I did on this car. Beautiful, fills up the gap pretty nice. The exhaust gap, whatever that's called, and it sounds really nice too. Yeah, and that's how that HKS sounds. Now I got like a more consistent tone and a more steezier look, so yeah. It's nice. And the HKS high power, I copped it for 400 bucks. It was the whole thing. It came with the gaskets and everything, so it's a good deal. Yeah, that's pretty much it for what I did to the car so far. So I guess you could say this is my version 1 of the car. So the car, I got pretty lucky when I bought it because it came with the kit already and it came with the paint job. And altogether for the car, I pretty much spent $13K. And I know like you're thinking like, bro, $13K for a single jingle. I basically paid for the paint job and the kit, I'm not gonna lie. I'd say it was worth it because I was gonna, like if I got a regular 240, I was gonna spend that money anyway. As far as my future plans for the build, like my version 2 of it, I got like a list of things that I want to do for sure. So first, I'm thinking about some 3-piece wheels. I don't want to say which ones yet because I'm still doing my research, but that's in the cards for sure. So that would mean I have to roll my fenders, get the fender liner out, and if we're doing 3-piece wheels, you already know 5-lug swap. So rolling fenders, 5-lug swap, and then I also want to run a Z32 brake upgrade. So, you know, them big brakes that say Nissan on it, I'm trying to run that. And then as far as interior, like I'm kind of stumped on what to do because there's not like a lot of example of clean brown interiors, so I don't know what I want to do with the brown interior since brown interior is kind of hard to imagine in my head on how to make it look good. I was thinking maybe do like a black interior swap, or should I just try and work with the brown? I don't know, let me know guys. If you guys have some brown interior inspo, send it my way, my Instagram. As far as the motor goes though, you know, it's a bone stock KA24E. For surely, I'm gonna be swapping it to SR. And I know you guys are probably thinking like, bro, SRs are like way too expensive. Like you might as well spend that bread on like a LS or a K swap or a Toyota motor, like a 1UZ, a 1J. I just don't wanna deal with doing a swap with a motor that doesn't belong in the car, you know what I mean? It's just more money, and like parts are interchangeable for SRs and KAs. I just wanna keep a Nissan motor in a Nissan, you know what I mean? I don't want to throw like a VQ in here because I seen what Hamilton's been going through, and I'm not trying to do all that. But SR is basically a direct bolt-in swap. Obviously, there's other parts you gotta buy to make it work, but SR, there's just less drama to deal with the SR than any other motor when you're swapping it in. And then as far as power, like I don't really care. Like I would rock stock SR 20 DET power, like what is it, like 200 horsepower with the factory ECU, so I wouldn't even care. I'd just run that, to be honest. And then another thing is, like, if you want me to build up my current motor, I probably wouldn't do that, because I just pay for SR20 DET. It's already built for power. It's already built for, turbo. So I just swap that in, to be honest. I don't want to deal with the drama of taking my engine apart and prepping it for boost, and my engine's already like tired and shit. So like, yeah, I'd rather throw in a SR than try to refresh a KA24E. And the KA24E, aesthetically, it just doesn't look as cool as the SR either. And lastly, they call it SR20 God's motor. I don't know if there's any other motor that has a nickname that as cool as that. Yeah, I don't know if you could argue with that. God's motor. I don't think this KA people just call KAs truck motors. So I don't know. Truck motor versus God's motor. What are you choosing? I'm choosing God's motor. But yeah, that's pretty much my future plans. 5-lug swap it, make it look sick as fuck, SR20, and hopefully a cleaner interior in the future. I'm going to Japan next week, and I'm just be filming hella content out there. And I do have like a list of things that I want to get out there that's car related. So I'll, list it out here. I'll put the checklist up. That's gonna be like a thing. I'm gonna try to hunt those things down and, cop them. And these are honestly, everything on this list it has to fit in my suitcase, so it's not gonna be anything like fucking fat. The first thing on my list is steering wheel, preferably an RD, obviously. But if I find something else that's cool, like a personal wheel or like a really cool Momo, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I low-key want to find a Nardi Osaka or Tokyo horn button. That would be sick. I need to get the steering wheel hub because there's that gap between my steering wheel. So I need to run up that. I want to go out there and find some like Drift Tengoku magazines or the Option Video magazines, just to have a nice, cool catalog. Small car models and like Hot Wheels and stuff. That's a given. The gacha that sells like Nissan keys. I'm trying to run that up. And then maybe racing gloves. And then maybe a racing helmet if that'll fit in my suitcase. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, no big stuff. Just stuff that'll fit in my suitcase. That's pretty much it. I have like non-car related stuff that I want to get to. Like stuff that's like fashion related. I don't know if you guys really care about that stuff. Wallets, jewelry, shoes, pants, all that. Yeah, it's like all fashion stuff. So if you guys want to see that, let me know. I'll post like one video kind of dedicated to all that, just kind of like going in stores and buying clothes and stuff and doing hauls. So we'll see if that does well. If it doesn't, I won't do it. But yeah, I've been back and forth from Japan since I was a kid for like 20 plus years now. So this is going to be my first time going to Japan as like a car guy and actually like, looking for car stuff. So this is going to be like a new experience for me in a way. So yeah, I'm going to take you guys along for the journey, and hope you guys like the videos in the future. Thank you guys for watching again. Later.